Okay, so this challenge is called How Many Vowels? The instructions are to create a function that takes a string and returns the number of vowels contained within it. So for example, it would take the string celebration and return 5 for the 5 vowels in it. E, E, A, I, O. Palm, it would return 1. So the vowels are A, E, I, O, U. And all test cases are one word and contain only letters. So the argument we're going to receive is going to be a string and will contain only letters and no numbers. So pause the video now and see if you can solve this or make a start on this problem. Okay, now that you're back, let's start by drawing out the logic. Okay, so first we're going to make a variable called vowel count. And this variable is going to contain the amount of vowels in the given string. So at first we're going to set it to 0 because it does not have any vowels yet. So next we're going to do a for loop. So for a letter in string, we're going to check if the letter is a vowel. So we can do that by doing if letter is vowel, and if it is a vowel, we're going to add 1 to vowel count. So add 1, and then we're going to return vowel count. So if we were to code this out, let's first make a variable called vowel count, and then we're going to do the for loop. Well, first we have to set it to 0. Now we're going to do the for loop. For letter in txt, and this letter, you can call it whatever you want. Call it X or I or letter. You can call it whatever you want. So then, if letter, for letter in text, I'm going to check if letter in A, E, I, O, U. So this is going to check if the letter contains any of the following: A, E, I, O, or U. And if it does contain those, we're going to want to take vowel count and then set it to vowel count plus 1. And we can do that, or we could just make this shorter by doing vowel count plus equals 1. And then we're going to return vowel count. Oops. Return vowel count. Now let's try running our code. So here's our code. We're just going to call the function, which is called count vowels. And then for the parameter, I'm just going to take the example string that we did receive, called celebration. So we're just going to put that in here, and we're going to print the result of this. And then let's run it. We should get 5, and we do. Now let's try it with another string, for example, apple. It should return 2, but as you see, it's only going to return 1. Now why is this? Pause the video and see if you can figure out why. Now I'll tell you why. So it's because apple contains a capital letter A, and it does not consider that a vowel because we've said A, E, I, O, U. So we could do two things to fix this. We could either type over here A, E, I, O, U in capitals, or we could do for letter in text dot lower, and this is just going to convert this into lowercase. So now if we run this, you'll see it returns 2. Now let's just put our code back into eDABIT and check it, and it's correct. Okay, so now I challenge you to make a function that takes in two lists and returns true if the second list follows the first list by one element and false otherwise. So basically, determine a function that determines if the second list is first shifted to the right by one. I'll cover this in my next video. In the comments, you can have a go at this problem and paste in your code, or you can comment any questions you might have about this one.